If you're struggling to get hard with women, but doctors keep telling you everything looks normal, I'm going to tell you something no one else will. Corn caused your ED. Now, I've gone over 500 plus days on NoFap and even cured my corn induced ED. And now I'm on a mission to help men cure their corn induced ED in half the time without any of the trial and error. Now, point number one, this problem is getting younger and younger men, right? So let's just look at the landscape, right? You have the internet, right? And nowadays, right, kids start on the internet super young, right? You have iPad kids, all these different things. And obviously, you grow up teenagers, adults, and you're used to being on the internet all the time, right? But what happens is nowadays we start to see something where it seems like people are not getting into relationships, as much, right? Even marriages, they say the age is kind of delayed a little bit. And then we also look at just in general, there being, less and less people having children. And one of the craziest things that if you do some Googling, you'll see younger and younger men are starting to have ED problems, 20s, 30s, especially they say under 50, 1 in 4 men have issues. Right? So you get a group of 4 men, literally one dude has that problem, right? But then you look at things like blood work, and of course, they say the testosterone in general is decreasing in men nowadays, but you look at these things, and at least the blood work for what they see now seems to be okay. You look at the major health issues, and there's really none going on, right? So what is the problem? And what a lot of people fail to realize is that there's a mental aspect to performing that a lot of people are sweeping under the rug, right? And the problem doesn't seem to show up when men are by themselves, maybe watching the corn, only when it comes to going after that partner. So number one, being aroused to just, the pixels in the corn, being able to get up there does not mean you're automatically fine, right? What happens is because you've trained your mind to respond to stimulus that's super high, right? You have this insanely high stimulus that when you get with a partner, right, around a partner, you just don't feel right, right? Something is off. You're not as, you don't have that masculine energy to you, right? Because your seed is going all over the place in the tissues, wherever, right? And you just don't have the same type of energy that you have, right? You're not looking at women in real life and basically, being aroused. If we're being honest, you just kind of feel numb to everything, right? And really what this is strictly, there's multiple reasons for it, but number one we have to address is the corn, right? So the corn trains your mind to novelty, right? You can scroll, see a bunch of different things around whatever you want, basically, right? Whatever you look at, it's going to come, whatever you look up, it's going to come to you in an instant, right? And that's the tough part because it's at your fingertips and there's really no one that's there to tell you to kind of slow down or basically help you monitor this because, you don't have any type of, direction really, right? And when you have this extreme novelty that's more exciting than in real life, of course, when you get in real life in a real situation, things just don't work out how you thought they would, right? And your brain adapts to the dopamine that you're getting and all of this. And, it's not happy when you don't get it. So, if you're on NoFap for a couple of days and you're kind of just trying to chill out, something is telling you to go back. And that's because you've just wired your brain in a certain way to crave, the dopamine hit and the super stimuli is what they call it, right? And you're just real attraction for a partner is way weaker, right? So then it makes sense why, men nowadays are basically a lot of men, right? You find a lot of men are single, not in relationships, not really going after women. They're just focused on, one solo thing. When a lot of times, man, there are other issues going on that some people just don't want to bring to the forefront. So next point, anxiety is also a huge factor, right? So think about if you have one bad experience, right? What happens is your brain associates and makes it combines a lot of these things to where You think in your mind, if I get into another situation where, I can't get it up, I can't perform, it's going to keep snowballing. So the next time you have an opportunity, maybe to, meet a lady and have an experience, your brain is going haywire and you're nervous and you're anxious because you're not sure if you can get it up or keep it up. And right, that's a cycle that will eat into your confidence, what you think about yourself. And it's really a toxic cycle, right? And a lot of people do not know how to break out of it because, of course, this is caused by the corn, right? But then you can't stop watching the corn. So what do? You're basically in this loop where you can never get out, right? And then you have these temporary fixes. So you have things like honey packs, right? You have different pills and supplements and short-term boosts, right? But what happens is they never address the real problem, right? Because you can buy this, take this pill, and, for today it works. But if you went without the pill, what happens? You're going to have a problem getting it up. And then after that, what adds to even more insult in this entire situation is when you take a pill, and even if the pill, let's say, has nothing in it, right? Your brain associates your performance with the pill. So what happens is then if you stop taking the pill, you're gonna have even more anxiety because now you have something that you're relying on and you feel like you can't do anything without it, right? And that's how they keep profiting off of you. And a huge piece in this cycle, man, is accountability, right? Someone that can at least walk you through or look out for you and kind of walk you through how and what you need to look at to change this. Now, if you're struggling with this issue, man, you want some help. You want someone to walk you through, give you step by step, the variables that you need to look at, the exact framework and blueprint to solve this problem fast, right? And without spending months or years in trial and error, embarrassing yourself in front of women, man, click the link in the description, book a free call, and let's see how I can help you, man. If you found some value, man, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.